Why is your mum's SUV in Gran Turismo, and why do they keep adding more? I'm actually going to answer that in this video. It's not clickbait, it's not like the world's greatest ever race with the car exploding in the thumbnail. It's not, I'm just going to answer it because we know and love Gran Turismo for adding in previous games the world's coolest cars, cool cars. And we got to drive them, we got to tune them and upgrade them, and that was different cars for different generations. So unless your mum was driving a twin turbocharged Toyota Supra 6-speed with like the big spoiler, then that wasn't a concern back in the day because those were the cars being added. They were cool cars, and it was JDM cars. It was the British kind of like not supercars, but like the Lotuses and the Nobles and these kind of things in these sort of games around the turn of the 2000s, TVRs, or the Italian cars moving into like the upper end Ferraris and the Porsches and the Lamborghinis. And then we hit Gran Turismo 7, and now it's just SUV after SUV after SUV. But why? So there's an issue here. There's an issue from the creator perspective, we know, on Gran Turismo. But there's also another issue that they can't really get around. So from the creator perspective, Kazunori Yamauchi has always wanted to make Gran Turismo to be a car culture game. And his view of car culture is a little bit particular. And that's fine because I like people who have a vision and they create something according to their vision. A bit like the videos on this channel, I have a vision and I have my opinions and I'd say them, and I'm not going to try and be everything to everyone. I'm going to say what I think, and either you like it or you don't like it. And if you like it, it's great. If you don't like it, it's other stuff. So with Gran Turismo, he has his view on car culture. He likes adding things like the cafe menu books, these kind of narratives. He likes adding things like scapes. They're a big deal for him. Photographing cars is a big deal for him. And for all of us that have a car, my car's in Gran Turismo. I go out and I take photos of me in my car, and it's exactly like I would do in Scapes, actually. So I could do that in Gran Turismo with a car that I don't own and have the same joy for it. And he sees that. That's pretty cool. And he also wants us to drive cars, road-going cars that are cars of the day that we can then use on tracks, and we can try and extract performance. And I think he has this idea that you're on the road, you see a car and you go, oh, I wonder what that'd be like to drive. Well, you can do it in Gran Turismo. And that is Gran Turismo's biggest USP. And actually, if we look at a very similar game, the closest competition to Gran Turismo 7, which added, let me be honest with you, fantastic race cars, fantastic, top of the range, the most desirable cars from Porsche, from BMW, from Lamborghini, which is Forza Motorsport. Did people go flocking to Forza Motorsport? No, people did not. Forza Motorsport might well be kind of the end now. Forza Motorsport, that is to be confirmed. I'm chasing that down. So we know Kazunori Yamauchi, the creator of Gran Turismo, has this very strong vision. And then you couple this with the thing that can't change. There might be a way around this, but basically you can't really change it, which is that the cars of today are SUVs. Like, we might forget about this because we're racing fans, right? We like driving racing cars. We look at what's on the track. SUVs have never been on the track. There's no real SUV racing series. I mean, in Formula E, they used to do like F-Pace support race, but there's no real SUV championship, which is kind of interesting when you think about it. Because think how popular British touring cars were, where you could see like a Mondeo go up against like a Vauxhall, and that was pretty cool because you'd see the cars on the road. You look at NASCAR and what they have to do with the shells to look like cars on the road, but we don't see any racing championship SUVs. So I think because of the lack of that, sometimes we don't see through this. But if you look at the road, everyone is driving SUVs. That is what the car manufacturers are selling. And unfortunately, or fortunately, because I know a lot of people watching are going to have them, people are buying SUVs. So while I bought a Peugeot RCZ, most people are going to buy a Peugeot 2008 or the 508. The 508 is really nice. It's a very cool car from Peugeot. But that's the reality of it. And when you take Kazunori Yamauchi, who wants to let us drive the cars of the day on racetracks, well, if he's going to be authentic to his vision, he's going to let us drive those cars. There's some other interesting factor as well. The biggest game on PlayStation, no, I didn't say racing game, just game, is Forza Horizon 5. It's the best selling game on PlayStation. Genius move, potentially, from Xbox to put it on PlayStation. That game lets you drive a lot of SUV, boxy, off-roady cars, like big cars basically. And it makes sense in that game because you do actually go off-road. You're like, I'll take a shortcut, I'll go through these fields, whatever. So it kind of makes sense. But people are now used to driving these SUVs in those games. So I think when Gran Turismo are kind of looking at what's out there, what people are driving, look at Forza Horizon, they might be tempted to add them. The thing is, in Gran Turismo, we don't have a free roam area, which is so painful because actually we have all the cars needed for free roam. Like, I wouldn't mind driving a Peugeot 2008 in like a town environment and racing people. Like, that would make more sense to me than racing on Big Willow, to be honest with you. The other thing is that I think these car manufacturers, I don't know how it's working exactly with the free updates we got on Gran Turismo 7, but I think it's likely that some of these car manufacturers are either paying for their cars to be in there, or it's kind of like a good favour thing. Like Gran Turismo, by adding it, they might curry some favour. They might get some cheaper license deals in the future, or better license deals in the future, because they've helped the brand out. And I think the brands want these cars to be in Gran Turismo. When you look at some of the VGTs, like Genesis doing the VGTs, they think it's a really big deal doing a VGT. Like, for the branding people there, it seems like this is a big deal. I don't think they really know that most of the players we don't care about the VGTs, but let's not let the brand people know about that. But I think those manufacturers, they're really excited to get the Honda CR-V, to get the Peugeot 2008, to get all these SUVs, the Mazda 1 in the game. They're really excited. So we have this kind of push actually into the game. And let me put this to you as a question that you can answer in the comments, while you're also double checking you're subscribed if you like these videos, which is that, would you rather have no free updates for Gran Turismo 7? So there's no free updates, which is standard. Like, we don't necessarily are entitled to free updates. Let's say we've got our money's worth from the game. I certainly have. Or would you rather we get free updates, but they're cars that are pushed by manufacturers, which is why we get the Bulgari VGT or the Casio VGT, or I don't know, the Chase Bank VGT. Like, is that like, oh cool, okay, Chase Bank, cheers bro, at least we get a free update, and I might get another Skyline in there included, the Gran Turismo feeling generals. That's something to think about. Now, I did say there's a way that this can be changed a little bit, and I do think there's an avenue here, and I actually mentioned Forza Max before, and I think Gran Turismo can look at Forza here. One thing Forza did well. If you look at the big brand, I mean, firstly, look who's sponsoring Gran Turismo. It's Toyota, it's Mazda, it's these cars that mainly are selling boring cars, okay? However, you also have the GT World Series, you also have the likes of Porsche, you also have the likes of Lamborghini. Now, unfortunately for Porsche, their best-selling car is also, I'm guessing, like the Macan or the Cayenne or something like that. And for Lamborghini, I'm pretty sure it's the Urus. I'm pretty sure the Urus is the best-selling car for Lamborghini. So again, if you ask these brands what they're going to want in, they're going to want stuff like the Urus, and that's probably why the Urus did come as a free update in Gran Turismo 7. But I think the smart play here, this is the smart play. This is what Gran Turismo can and should do. If they're going to add a Urus, give us a Sesto Elemento as well. Give us a Revuelto. Give us the Lamborghini Essenza. Give us like a Lamborghini update, right? And we can put the Urus in there as part of it. If you're going to do Porsche, you can give us the Macan, but also give us 911 G3 RS, or give us some other kind of like classic Porsche 911, something like that. That for me is the smart move to do. So Gran Turismo could do that with the free updates, but this is a big problem, bigger than all of this, which is what is the future direction of Gran Turismo 7? Because if Kazunori Yamauchi doesn't want to do free roam, maybe because of sensitivities about in Japan, like street racing. I've done a biographical video on Kaz Yamauchi before, which I'll link at the end of this. Completely worth a watch. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch that video. It chronicles his whole story. But he may have had a background in street racing, and he might be uncomfortable about bringing that into the game. You know, encouraging people to street race illegally, it's dangerous. So that might be part of the reason why he doesn't want to do free roam. But if he doesn't want to give us free roam areas, how is he going to square the increasing EV, SUV boringness of real world cars? Let's be honest. The heyday of the road car has been and gone. The Peugeot RCZ is no longer being manufactured. So how do you deal with that in a game that's about is the real driving simulator? What do you do? Like, seriously, what do you do? Does he go for like the Project Motor Racing approach, which is going to be screw that, we're going to do classic cars? Do you go for a Forza Motorsport approach, which has resulted in your game basically being shut down? Do you go for an ACC approach where you do a very simple class, but you're not going to have that Gran Turismo culture effect? And that ain't going to fly, I think, for Sony. Like, for Sony, it's important Gran Turismo is like the young encompassing. What do you think of with Gran Turismo? You think driving skylines, you think driving road cars. So what are they going to do? Now, they do watch these videos, so let me know in the comments what you think. And I will read them, and I'll make a follow-up video. But that's why your mum's SUV is in Gran Turismo, and why they're going to keep adding